Hi Aries, here is a general look at your solar chart for October 2016. Every year at this time the Sun comes into your opposite sign, so this is a time to give more attention to relationships. That's one-to-one business type things, but also personal relationships. How to get the best out of them, cooperation or even competition, because we all need a something to push against, something to bounce off, or someone to bounce off. This is a time for compromises maybe as well, but this is also the time for mutual support. We're getting the Sun in there, and we're also getting Mercury in there from the 7th, but we've already got Venus in there up until the 18th. Well, Venus is actually in an area which is the more feeling, emotional, involved side of relationships. So it really has got a strong emphasis on relationships. So that's a general trend, but of course this is the month that we are getting used to having Jupiter in your opposite sign, which is something new, and this is a long one. That'll be there until October 2017, and because of key associations, your horizons are going to broaden because of the input or the situation or the interests or the knowledge of another. Your world is going to expand, and your horizons will definitely be broadening, and that looks like quite an interesting, even quite upbeat time. There could be more than one suitor if you're looking, or one possibility. Anyway, Jupiter is about potential, so obviously you want to be able to capitalize on that potential in that close in that opposite sign area for you for that well, it's just about a year now. Now, for all of the signs, this is the month that we're really starting to get our feet clear of this kind of cloying, clinging, sort of muddying, foggy Saturn-Neptune energy, which has us which denies clarity on what's going on in the world or what people are trying to get us to believe. And this is the time to start going forwards with more clarity, because that ambiguity, that sort of foggy ambiguity, which causes us to fret about things which are maybe never going to happen or not going to happen in the way that they were presented to us. So that's when it just starts to clear. And we are able to get our ducks in a row better. This is the first month of it, okay? So as October unfolds, not really in the first part of October, it's more in the second part of October, and then going on into November, we can then get more understanding, more ability to join up the dots and say, okay, this is where we are, this is what we have, let's see, what we can do with this. Now then, Pluto and Uranus are going to be quite active this month for you. So end of the first week, there could be quite an intense situation there. Very fleeting though, but you could just feel like you're a bit more involved in whatever's going on, and the consequence of that could be maybe you could feel that deeply. But like I say, it's a very, very rapid transit. However, for those of you born the 3rd to the 5th of April, or with 14 to 16 degrees rising, or a little bit on either side of those dates or degrees, you're going to be feeling that one the most probably. I say probably because you might have planets around in that sort of neck of the woods as well. And then also mid-month, surprises there. The general routines may be what you expected is not what is going to happen, or so be flexible, be expecting the unexpected, and general routines could be disrupted there. And in the areas, well, Pluto might be referring to your sort of your outer image or your career, or you know, an influence coming towards you which is beyond your control by those in the higher echelons, as it were, or authorities or officials. But the general transit of Pluto for you in that area there is that you make your mark on the world. This is your moment to really use that power right. But in order to get to the power, you have to ask yourself some deep questions. You have to really not let yourself get away with anything. You have to get right down deep in yourself, maybe clear away some conditioning, some programming, whatever it is, to get to the truth for you now. It might not be the same truth 20 years down the line or 20 years before. It's for you now, because truth is a movable feast, I find. Ultimate truth, that's a whole other situation. But once you get to that truth, you get to the power. And then you're working on your cylinders. You're coming from your core. That was just a little word about something that I don't usually mention. So yeah, and so this is the situation to do with partnerships, more center stage stuff. We've got Mercury keeping you very practical in your thinking, maybe more conversations with service provider type people, health provider type people. Up until the 7th, that's coming in from September. And thoughts could be revolving around maintenance, repairs. There's quite a maintenance orientated time there with that Mercury position there. And then from the 7th, Mercury moves into this opposite sign area, communications, you know, personal, professional. You could feel you can do business with someone or not. You could feel that you've got a rapport with someone or not. And it's just more center stage. And also, you could be consulting or consulted more during that stage there. Until the 18th, Venus is, and really I think I quite like this place for Venus, even though technically it's not supposed to be, but I quite like this place. And this means that, you know, you're feeling things more deeply. So somebody could touch your feelings deeply, or you may be taking a relationship that you're in already, or that's just started, you're taking it more seriously, whether that is in a romantic sense or not. And Venus here could also manifest as a relationship that helps you out materially. So if you're in a negotiating type situation, even though this is a rapid transit, this comes in from the back end of September as well, you can make hay while the sun shines here. You know, if you're looking for funding, or you're negotiating for something, you're trying to strike a bargain, you're trying to thrash things out emotionally, you know, on that. Maybe it's not to do with materialistic things, maybe it's to do with, you know, inner stuff. Then you can do okay here, especially now you've got Jupiter in your sign, in your opposite sign. Yeah. Now Venus moves on the 18th and then goes into a more outgoing, expansive area where you feel maybe that you're connecting and relating to somebody at a distance, or somebody who's got a knowledge or a teaching or an expertise that is useful to you, that helps you connect up the pieces of the puzzle. It could be that people in positions of legal positions or political positions, or those sorts of people, or people that, you know, even reading, even stuff online, so it's a book or it's something online, or they give you the information that you, so it's a good time to source what you're looking for. This would be a good time, and you could get a better understanding of and a reward. And it's a great time as well to connect with you know, if you're in ongoing education as well, connecting with others on that level there. Mars, your ruling planet, is transiting, finally has left this ping-ponging motion of Scorpio, Sagittarius, and now is up at the top of your chart, and will be triggering a little bit Pluto there, and helping you to make your mark on the world, to achieve the goals you want, to really use your willpower, and coming from your back, you know, with that conviction, because you've already done the inner work, of course, and you've found your nugget, and that's your chip for, you know, to put on the table, or to set out as your wares or whatever, but it's never going to be for sale. It's uniquely your precious gem, you know, your crystal, your philosopher's stone. And that is because you've asked the questions and you've found where you're coming from, and that's what you identify with, and that's what you want to be able to express in the wider world. So overall, this transit of Mars could inspire you to take more responsibility in that sort of way about your direction in life, and you're caring more about the impressions you're making on others. You're having to step up to the plate more during this time, maybe having to deal with those in authority or officials, maybe crossing swords with them, because Mars likes a little bit of a fight. And if you are decisive, energetic, and keep a cool head, then you can go forward with the master plan and do very well. From the 23rd, the Sun moves into this deeper, more inward area where you're more introspective, more sensitive, more conscious of, you know, stepping more carefully, conscious of another's side of things. And you could be musing over some deeper questions there, but you're already doing that because Mercury's already there. Now, Saturn, of course, in Sagittarius is in a good angle to your sun sign, and it does mean that you should be really persistent and plugging away at matters of education, or to do with people at a distance that you connect to, or anything at a distance that you're connecting to, whether it's, you know, something else. And you could gain a reputation for how you communicate, your knowledge, your experience, your sentiments, your value, whatever, in whatever way. But this is a steady, incremental, stage-by-stage unfolding until the end of December 2017. And that is, I did mention Pluto to you. I don't think I mentioned the position of Uranus. Uranus is in your sign and comes strongly across your sun, or your sun goes across it, keep getting a hair stuck in my eye there, in the middle of the month. And that is going to be mostly felt by you Arians born the 11th to the 12th of April, with 22 to 23 degrees rising, or a little bit on either side of those dates and degrees. And that's it for October. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also this material is written up on my website, DianaGarland.com, and I'll see you the next time.